Welcome to the BVTV Network, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. Now, this is episode 2 in our BVTV Trilogy with glamorous Las Vegas-based marketing expert, Darrell Evans. Hello again, Darrell.
Malcolm, so good to be here again. Yeah. Love it.
I'm a bit disappointed, man. You're sitting there with books behind you. I thought there would be flashing lights, as going down the strip and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got those. They're just on my Google Drive. I keep those private.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I would promise myself all the dancing girls as well. Darrell, professional services businesses have awoken at last to the need to have effective marketing driving them forward. Though in the UK, many still prefer to call it business development, as they dislike the word marketing, feeling it beneath them. So let's help them see the light. What are 3 things professional services businesses should do better with their marketing? Business development in 2022.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. That's a great question. And I couldn't agree with you more. The phrase was at last. At last, and we've been now helping companies for a little bit over 10 years, 11 and a half years now, actually. And I think that the first thing that they can do is realize that the very thing that they love to say is the reason people do business with them is because they someone knows, and trusts them. They like to say in some way, one or all 3 of those things matter. So when we talk to them, they agree that those things matter, but yet they don't prepare a marketing plan or strategy to be more visible, to develop that know, and trust factor. And one of the first things we always recommend professional service companies do is to release their expertise on platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc., because they know things that somebody, their ideal customer, is thinking in their head. And if that person is thinking that in their head and you show up with an answer, then there's this, again, digital transference of trust, and it helps to bring and warm that person up.
Yeah.
The second thing.
Isn't it exciting though at this new technology that we've got now that doesn't die away? Like yesterday's newspapers, tomorrow's fish and chip paper, we used to call it over in the UK. It doesn't die away. So if you've keyworded it and you've structured the conversation or the presentation or the video and everything there, it'll remain evergreen, won't it?
100%, Malcolm. These professional service providers have been saying the same things to their customers and their prospective customers for decades, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. They're, for example, if I'm working with a divorce attorney or a LASIK eye provider, they have been saying the same things in consultative sales processes for years. And the interesting part about it is they are sometimes complaining that their businesses aren't developing fast enough, growing with revenue fast enough, but yet they're still resigned to speaking one-to-one, mano a mano. And what we're saying is with the simple, I call it simple, but we are carrying in our hands a device that I've been told or I've read somewhere could actually get a spaceship to the moon.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I talked about NASA when the originals went to the moon. It was something like a matter of Ks, not megabytes, wasn't it?
That's correct. And so what we always say is that it just takes seconds on your phone to. I just finished a meeting prior to our show, and the gentleman that I just spoke with is a small business owner, professional service provider, and I left that meeting with 3 myths that he talked about, things that he believes are true that are not true, that I had to talk to him about his particular marketing situation. And for me today, I'm going to take those 3 dialogue, those 3 points of conversation, and record 1-minute videos on each of them, because if he believes that they're true and they're not because I said so, but because he just doesn't know what I know, then who else believes that those 3 things are true that could be holding them back from their end goal? So I'm
Yeah.
simply going to record 3 1-minute videos with those topics and put those out on my socials. Now,
Yeah.
to your point, they're there now for anyone who comes across my brand. And so that's just one of the opportunities that is missed by a lot of the professional service providers as it relates to business development, but they'll all agree again about like, know, and trust factor. So this is one of those ways.
Yeah, I think well, your expression "know, like, and trust" is a proven, well-known one there. But the word "trust" these days is more important than ever. I've been around the world. I was in Australia this morning, Switzerland in the afternoon, and obviously into glamorous Las Vegas this afternoon. And wherever you go, the word trust is coming through. Now, professional service people have that advantage already, don't they?
I think so. And I think I think obviously today with the internet and a lot of business owners, they are great at what they do. And I think one of the challenges, if I were to talk about a challenge number 2, and that is obscurity.
Yes.
In some situations, I'm hearing from business owners that, hey, I'm better than so-and-so who's ranking higher than them on Google, or we provide more service or better service, or we've been around longer than X, Y, or Z company, but we are not getting our share. And that is where the opportunity to build trust faster through these digital platforms matters. And so it used to be great when you were face-to-face or in small offline communities. But today, we actually see a lot of small business owners who are really good at what they do, not getting their share because they're not transitioning to this. How do you start building those touch points, those 7 to 12 touch points we talk about? How do they do that online, and how do they do it effectively? What's the right plan and strategy? So that's a great opportunity for them.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, and quickly, what's your number 3?
So I think number 3 is there is an opportunity that's almost always missed with us in the world of paid advertising. And here's what I mean by that. We've all grown up watching television, radio. We've all seen billboards on the side of a freeway or a highway. We've seen the magazines. Well, for years and years and years, that was out of reach for most small to mid-sized companies. You know, in my city, $3,000 a month for one billboard on the side of one major arterial. That's a strong stretch for a company that's doing $500,000 or $1 million. I mean, it's just, you start how many billboards do you need, right? So that can eat up your budget really quickly. I'm constantly pitched by television companies to do media spends with my clients. And generally, Malcolm, the spend is roughly, I don't want to get too technical, but it's roughly $100 to $150 cost per 1,000, meaning for every 1,000 impressions to get the ad shown, it's costing $100 to $150. Well, what a lot of small businesses don't realize today is they can get those same 1,000 impressions on platforms like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube for $5 to $10 to $15. And they're not taking advantage of, but they believe that they've seen an ad. They understand television advertising. They're like, I can't afford that. Great. You can afford a $5, $10 CPM through these other platforms. And so that is the other mistake or the other opportunity that is sitting at it's at their doorstep for a while, because Malcolm, at the end of the day, that cost is rising by the day because more and more players are coming into that space. So they have to jump on it today while costs are still low. Otherwise, they will be seeing, online ad costs jumping up to where television and radio and billboards are. So that's another great opportunity that's being missed.
Thanks, Darrell. Now, let's give viewers and listeners details of your URL, your website address, which is in all glory. This is Las Vegas style, isn't it? Come on. It's Las Vegas style.
Fancy.
It's all the viewers, you can see that. But listeners, it's all the W's. Darrell Evans. And Darrell is spelled DARRELL, darrellevans.net. Darrell and his team are experts in helping companies like professional services improve their marketing effectiveness. Now, in episode 3, I'll be on camera in Vision talking with Darrell about the importance of video marketing now and for the future. So are you up for that, Darrell?
I can't. It's one of my favorite topics. I love it. Let's do it.